Okay, I have a question for the Finnish people. What was your most awkward communication problem? For example, like in this bus situation, where what kind of stuff did you encounter? That would be so interesting. Hi, welcome back to the castle. The Finnish people found me again, and they wished for another one. How I could not respond positively. You recommended me to watch Why You Will Hate Living in Finland, 7 Reasons from AleksiLinna. Funny name that we share, kind of. It's a bit older. It's like 4 years old. I wonder if it's still the same. Maybe the Finnish people can educate it on us. And let's see what he has to say. Let's go. So, here's Aleksi.
So you've packed your bags and ready to move to the happiest country in the world, Finland.
I'm not ready to move there, but it's nice to learn something.
And stop right there. While Finland is a superb country, there are a number of things that just
That was an amazing sound effect. I need to know where that come from.
suck. And I want to prepare and teach you those. Let's go.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
My name is Aleksi. What is your name?
No small talk, I guess. Difficult to make friends. Is it that way?
Finns are not very inclined to meet strangers from the get-go and not very good at breaking the ice either. That is not because Finns are dumb or boring. This is because Finns value time and they don't want to waste their time or yours unless there is something very meaningful to talk about, like the 95 ice hockey gold medal. In addition, Finnish social circles are quite established. From personal experience, I can tell, for example, at home parties, there are this group of people who just hang out with themselves and sitting in their own group, and it's quite difficult to butt in. And if a stranger approaches you in Finland, it's either drunk,
Sauna boss.
mitä mies? Gravely ill person asking for help. Or someone who tries to sell you something. What do you buy?
I want to buy a bottle.
Again, from personal experience, I can say that it's just somehow much easier to small talk with the foreigner in English than with Finns in Finnish. So even Finnish people have trouble at this, not only foreigners. The analogy I've used also on this channel is that Finns are like coconuts. Hard shell on the out.
Okay. What do we learn? Finns are like coconuts. Use a hammer.
Inside and empty inside.
No!
Just kidding. Delicious milk inside. So if you manage to make a friend with Finn, you most likely have a friend for life. But the thing is that you need to be proactive and take action yourself. And a quick example.
So you have to be the hammer. So it's actually it was not the worst take. Yeah.
My friend from Albania, he met his girlfriend in a shopping center. So he just approached her. They started talking, and now they've been together for years. So consider this a win-win situation. If you want to make friends with Finns, you need to learn to be outgoing, social, proactive. And if you just want to be alone,
and also maybe like have a few things to talk about, like topics or hobbies, and practice to make them like more interesting. Maybe, for example, if they value time, if you make something interesting, then it's worth the time spending.
Finns will let you be. Win-win. I've applied for 20 jobs in Finland. Let's see what the replies are.
Okay. I'm sorry to inform you that you have not been selected for an interview for this position. Oh, job market. We need a Finnish speaker. No reply at all. Yeah, this is a classic. We can't hire outside of Finland. Okay. Challenging to find a job. Okay.
So in 2021, Yle reported that Finnish companies are suffering an all-time shortage of skilled workers, despite this large number of companies say that they won't risk hiring employees from abroad. And there
But why then though? If you don't have enough skilled workers, try at least.
was a survey of 500 Finnish companies, so nearly 40% of this organization
Can English be used as a working language in your organization?
told that they cannot use English as their working language. This is very complicated because either organization would have to change their working language entirely, or they would have to invest a lot of time and money to train a foreigner to speak good enough Finnish. And that is very unreasonable requirement, because if you really want to work in Finnish company, in Finnish only, it would take at least a year or two to reach to that level. To add insult to injury, in 2019 there was a university study conducted where 5 fake job applicants with equal language skills and backgrounds applied for jobs in Finland. But their background was just different in terms of nationality. Finnish, English, Russian, Iraqi, and Somali. They all spoke good Finnish and English. And the results were shocking. Out of all of these...
Okay, wait, hold on. I will move a little bit to the side. There. So you see the whole thing. So white Finn has pretty high chance. English, yeah. Russian still high, and then it just gets lower and lower. But women always a bit higher chance than man. Interesting.
White Finns got the most job interviews. And I've also heard stories that many masters and even PhD holders have ended up toilet cleaners and food delivery people in Finland. I think Finns are a little bit of conservative and even xenophobic. So if they're never had to work with a foreigner, it can be quite high threshold to start working with.
To even get into a position like in a Finnish company, right? Even if your language is good.
But that being said, there are also many success stories of foreigners finding a job in Finland. So it's definitely possible, but it's good to understand that there are challenges.
You need patience, I guess. You need patience, yeah.
How do you introduce yourself in Finnish again? You can say, mun nimi on Aleksi. I thought it was nimeni on Aleksi. No, but that's written Finnish. You don't want to use that when you speak. Mun nimi on Aleksi.
Are you kidding me? Wait, hold on. That reminds me though, in Austria, people have a lot of different dialects, right? And they talk in their dialects, but they write in proper German. Is it like a little bit similar? That kind of gives me similar vibes, because I know a lot of people who like really like they have a dialect, but when they write an email, they just write it normally, and I don't understand why. It's a riddle that I haven't solved yet.
Next, let's talk about the notoriously hard Finnish language. First of all, Finnish is very different from the major languages because Finnish is a Finn-Ugric language, which is completely different from the Indo-European languages, including English, German, French, Spanish, Italian, and so on. And yet,
look at the amount of languages just in the European area.
English, German, French,
cool.
Spanish, Italian.
That's a nice picture to like show language. That's nice.
And so on. And yet another insult to injury is the spoken Finnish. So in Finnish we have kind of two versions of Finnish, the written Finnish and spoken Finnish. Written Finnish is used in written form, like books, publications, news, and in very formal occasions. And if you would use this in regular dialogue, you would come across stiff and very unnatural. You would sound
okay, I see.
like a news reporter. So that is why it's important
to learn the spoken English to like have a more like native speaker vibe, kinda.
Also learn spoken Finnish. For example, in written Finnish, I is minä, but in spoken Finnish,
minä olen, me on.
It's mä. And I am is olen, but in spoken Finnish.
Wait, I know minä olen. I think my friend and we had a little bit of. He was trying to teach me a little bit Finnish. That's why I also know how to say perkele. Or saatana, so I can cuss in Finnish, obviously. But he never said anything about spoken Finnish. Maybe he just didn't know. We were just like goofing around.
Say, yet another problem.
And I teach him a little bit German.
When you actually try to use Finnish with Finns, they might reply in English. A quick workaround, just tell them, hey, I'm learning Finnish, can we talk in Finnish? Problem solved. Hey, I got my pay slip, let's check it out.
Gross salary €4,000. Cool. Municipal tax. Church tax, healthcare contribution. Oh, yeah, but there's also a lot of insurance and stuff. Like for example, pension, then health insurance, stuff like that. Other countries don't have that. So yes, I know it hurts, but it's nice. Unemployment insurance. See? Yeah, it's not only taxes though. This is, I wouldn't say that. Hold on, where was the full list? See, it's not only taxes, like we have the salary, then there's a tax, healthcare contribution, which is kind of an insurance. And then there's another like increase, so like maybe better service or something. Daily, I don't know what daily allowance contribution is though. Public broadcasting tax, I don't. Oh wait, that's $100. And I was complaining about Germany with 100 euros, and I was complaining with about 17 euros in Germany. Then pension insurance, very important. It's not a tax. It's for your future. So I would say tax to it. And there's also unemployment insurance, which is also important. Like many countries don't have that, or like not automatically, basically. So you don't need to take care of it or much care of it. I think it's part of good things.
According to the Finnish Taxpayers Association, Finland.
Suomi is like 41%. Wait, where's Germany? Belgium, Italia. Oh wait, how do you? Which one is Germany here? Because I can't see it.
Had the 7th highest total tax rate among the OECD countries in 2020. Total tax rate means the taxes and tax-like payments collected in relation to the GDP. And as you may know, Finland has a progressive taxation. So the more you earn, the more you pay. And the real challenge comes with the high marginal tax rates. Let me give you a few examples. If your annual income would be 25,000 euros, your tax rate would be around 15%. But you would have 37.1 marginal tax rate. So the marginal tax rate means that if your income would increase 1,000 euros, you would pay 371 euro taxes from that. If you make
Oh, but it's the same system in Austria.
50,000 euro a year, your tax rate would be around 33%, but your marginal tax rate would be 48.2%. So 1,000 euro increase would mean that you would pay 482 euros taxes from that. But it's also good to remember that we get quite a bit from the tax money, like inexpensive healthcare system, good social security system. So if life decides to kick your ass, you're not completely on.
You're not completely screwed over, and not everyone has that. And I think yes, it hurts when you see your salary and then everything goes down, but just the security to not worry about losing your job or having a health situation going on, that is like very comforting, and also like a quality of life that you underestimate if you look at countries like America, for example. Like in the streams, sometimes when someone from America says they hurt themselves or something happened, I'm like, okay, can you go to a doctor? Can you afford it? Because you have to pay for it if you don't have an insurance, or if the company you're working for doesn't have an insurance. Others cannot take a vacation day when they're sick, or cannot take a sick day because they get paid weekly, and if they miss a day, it's just so much of a loss in payment that they cannot afford the apartment anymore, for example, or food, depending on what you prefer to pay then. So it is a high luxury, actually, even though it hurts a lot when you see your paycheck and then just almost half of it is going somewhere. But it has its benefits, which also gives a lot of security overall for your life.
And also free education system from basic school to master's level at the university.
Oh, even till master's is free? Wait, you don't have to pay for the university completely? Snow. No winter maintenance. A bit odd in a country where there's a long winter. The waddle. Oh! Oh! The winter. The winter
so in Finland
blues.
we have 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter, aka fight for your life. While the climate is
fight for your life season,
quite decent in Finland, winter is total BS. First of all, because Finland is located so far in the north, we get barely any sunlight in winter. Secondly, in Finnish we have pääkallo, eli skull weather literally is translated. And this is the type of weather condition where it's so icy that it's very high risk to slip up and hurt yourself. This is
Oh, okay. I would have a lot of trouble. I would probably need a lot of like walking gear and stuff like that to not injure myself because I'm really clumsy. And I also know from a friend in Finland that when they expect a higher amount of snow, that they are like basically within the family, they're like having one person who is like over like staying awake for a couple of hours while the others are sleeping, like guarding a little bit, and then they shift to just make sure that someone is awake to in case the snowfall during the night is so much that they have to remove the snow from the house to protect the house better because of the weight of the snow, right? It can you would be terrified how heavy snow is if you never experienced it before.
actually a real deal because every year there
And then if the snow levels are too much, the person who's guarding basically wakes up the others, and then they remove the snow from the roof to protect the house.
these news articles that these deadly weathers send people to hell station and they will require doctors' work to heal this. And you also have to spend and invest your money in proper winter clothing because the temperatures can be as low as
you have to prepare. You have to be prepared for the winter there. Yeah, definitely.
minus 20 to minus 30 degrees Celsius. So you're gonna get your winter shoes, jackets, scarves, hats, gloves, and so on. On the flip side, again, there are a number of fun winter activities such as ice.
I kind of want to try it. I don't know if I could do it, but like being in the sauna and then jumping into snow would already be enough for me, probably.
I mean, cross-country skiing.
That would be kind of cool.
Snowboarding, or just jumping in the snow. Hey, check this out. I have listed for the first time my monthly costs. Let's check it out.
Okay. Rent, gas, groceries, electricity, gym, dog, dining out. What is that? I can't read. Plan, home insurance. Yeah, I can see like normal expenses are higher, but I think this is everywhere. And this video is 4 years old, so I don't even want to know how it is right now. Maybe some of the Finnish people can like give us a bit more insight how it is, especially like gas right now is really horrible, at least here in Austria. Rent also really, really horrible, and groceries are through the roof. It is a madness. It's just madhouse. The high prices.
According to stat.fi, Finland had the 8th highest total price level of private consumption in the EU in 2020.
Wait, where's Germany again? Why is Germany not here? Austria. Maybe it's like written in Finnish? I don't know. Yeah, but then you have Montenegro, Bulgaria, Romania. Where's Germany? Italia.
The 8th highest total price level of private consumption in the EU in 2020. 26% more expensive. Finland has also a relatively high value-added tax VAT, which is 24% basic rate. So this is the rate that consumers pay on services and goods. So if a product's real cost would be 100 euros, the real final price for the consumer would be 124.
Yeah. In Austria, it's like for like, let's say you buy a new phone, you have 20%. And for things like food, like vegetables and stuff, you have 10%.
Tax to the VAT. So the government takes the 24 euros in taxes. And according to numbeo.com, Finland has the 21st highest cost of living index in the world.
Wait, hold on. That was Austria. I saw Austria.
Numbeo.com, Finland has the 21st highest cost of
living. There. 24th. Just a few steps away. But where the hell is Germany?
Living index in the world. Just to give some comparison, the rents are around 40% cheaper than in the US. And it always depends where you're comparing to. Finland can be more expensive, or
if you live like in more higher demand cities and stuff, it's more expensive. If you live in a countryside, if you get a job there, because that is then the other difficulty, probably you can save a little bit of money.
Even cheaper.
Hello, I want to get out. Just say something. At some point, I was there too, okay? I'm so shy usually. I was there too. But man, nowadays, I'm just so pissed off because people are especially like when you grocery shop and then they have like the grocery carts and then they just stand there looking at something and being completely in the way, blocking a whole hallway for themselves. I don't care anymore. I'm just like, excuse me, could I please pass through? And I've been saying it loudly because then they have no excuse that they didn't hear me. Because I cannot give a fuck anymore. I'm so sorry. I cannot. Yeah, now he misses bus station. The awkward communication culture. Okay, I have a question for the Finnish people. What was your most awkward communication problem? For example, like in this bus situation, where what kind of stuff did you encounter? That would be so interesting.
Like mentioned, Finns tend to avoid every unnecessary conversation. There's even a joke that small talk equals bullshit. It's not only difficult to approach Finns, but the communication can be also challenging. Instead of opening their mouths, they might just keep it inside, or sometimes write it anonymously on the internet. And I remember when I was back in the school, when the teacher asked something, you could also always raise your hand if you wanted to show that you're an active student. But it was kind of awkward because you would have to speak up in front of the class.
Wait, you don't do that normally?
It's always been quite awkward. Luckily, my parents always pushed me to be active, and I'm really glad that they did that. Thanks to this, I've also heard complaints that the dating scene sucks because no one does anything, even if.
Yeah, wait, the dating scene. True, that might be difficult.
They're interested. And also the dates themselves can be quite awkward because of the silence. And there can be also problems in the relationships when either party is not opening about if there's something wrong. But again,
that can be very problematic.
You can find some good things about this. First of all, because no one's approaching anyone, there's no competition, but still we have lots of beautiful, intelligent, awesome people here in Finland.
Cool. Bonus tip unlocked. The Finnish smile. Oh, what is that about now?
People always say that Finns never smile and they're kind of grumpy looking and stuff. But I think that's not true. Instead, we just have the Finnish smile, which looks like this.
Okay.
And if you
okay, do you wait? Hold on. I know there will be quite a few Finnish people. Do you smile? Like I have a default smile because of the model. Like I'm just smiling all the time.
You're moving to Finland, I strongly recommend you to check out my Move to Finland masterclass replay. You will get tons of tips for example, finding an apartment, doing the arrival, paperwork, money saving tips and more. Link in the description.
Okay, nice. So if you want to move to Finland, maybe there are like a couple more resources. Be sure to read some reviews before you pay any money to it. That was interesting. But I have to say, nothing of these is like severely scary. Like difficult to make friends. Okay, yeah, especially if you're introvert. And then like with the communication problems, I think if you learn like Finnish at least a little bit, it is possible. And then maybe just like go to a bar. Maybe that's a bit easier with the alcohol then. Then the jobs would be maybe difficult. Maybe you have to search for a specific job position where they require you to be a foreigner, basically, to like get into new markets, for example. Or like a translator. And what else do we have? Then the language, yeah, I think it's okay. The cost of living, that's nothing new because like I said, it is here as well. So I'm not even scared of that. So I don't see a problem. And then also with the taxes and stuff that you have to give away from your salary. I don't see a huge issue in Finland. I don't know why it was named Why You Will Hate Living in Finland. I don't understand the title because for me, for me personally, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm pretty sure I would be fine living in Finland. But maybe some Finnish people would be so nice in the comments and explain maybe a few things here and there. Especially with that awkward situation. I'm really, really curious about that. What kind of funny stories you have to tell. Only if you feel comfortable, please. Okay? Don't force yourself to write anything. But if you feel comfortable to make us giggle a little bit, feel free to share your story. I'm kind of curious. And I hope you enjoyed it. Would you consider living in Finland? What would be a complete no-go from you from the things that we saw so far? That would be also really interesting because I like winter, I like darkness, I like being introverted. I don't. The taxes and cost of living is no surprise. We have the same issues here. I don't see a problem actually. I think it would just take time to learn the language properly to just open a few more doors to get into it basically. But yeah, I hope we can share a little bit in the comments. I hope you had fun. Please stay safe when you go outside, drink some water, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.